And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower!
Hi, I'm Tom Vasel, and today, with me my daughter Melody, we're going to talk about Flip Out. Now, Flip Out looks like a really kind of boring game. When you look at the deck of cards, you'll see that these cards are cards of different colors. But what's interesting is when you flip them around, they're also cards of different colors. So, for example, this card's red on the front and red on the back. This card's red on the front and purple on the back. Or is the purple the front and the red the back?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. This game also comes with curved card holders, which makes it cool. But is the game itself interesting or not? Well, that's up for us to show you and for us to tell you, because we'll let you know. Each player gets a rounded tray, which is made up of two of those pieces that slide together. And in this tray, you're going to be drawing from this deck of cards. Now, if you notice, this deck of cards has no front and back because the cards are a color on each side. For example, this one's green on one side and red on the other. This one's red on one side and blue on the other. This one's green and red again, and red and yellow, and purple and yellow, and yellow and yellow. Sometimes they're the same on both sides. So what players are going to do is they're going to draw 6 of these cards and place them in their tray, where you can see the front of them and your opponents can see the back of them. So I put 6 in here, like this, and let's see if we can get that's a pretty decent angle looking at that. And as players are looking at these cards, on each player's turn, they have 2 actions that they can take. So here are the actions you can take. One of the actions, you can take a card, and you can flip it around. What? Same color. Another action you can take is you can switch 2 cards. So I might say, okay, I'm going to switch these 2 here, and put yellow next to yellow. A third action is I can swap a card from my tray with someone from someone else's tray. And so let's say someone else had a tray together. We'll put one of those together now because I want to show you something interesting anyway. So here's the other person's tray, and I'll deal her 6 cards real quick, which she'll put in her tray. A fourth action is scoring. Now what you're trying to do is you're trying to score, where you're trying to get several cards that are the same color in a row here. So, but here, let's say I want to swap 2 cards from a card from my tray to her tray. So I say, okay, I'm going to take this one and put it here, and this one and put it here. And now I'm going to score, but I'm going to score from Melody's rack and not my own, because she has 4 reds here. So I say red, 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 red. She didn't know that there was 4 reds there. But now that there's 4 reds there, I am going to keep all the cards I scored, but since it was from her pile, she gets to keep 1 of them. So 3 of them go into my pile, and 1 goes into her scoring pile. She then draws cards to fill up her rack. We continue to do this, and once the cards are all gone, the person who has the most cards in their score pile is the winner. Now, there is some benefits, obviously, to scoring 4, 5, or 6 cards, getting lots of points, and there's a variant where you can have 3 action tokens, where you can use an action token to get a 3rd one on your turn. And you're also allowed to swap 2 adjacent cards with somebody else, as long as they are the same color as another player. And so there's different actions. It's a very simple game, just trying to get as many as you can in a row in front of you, or as many as you can in front of your opponent. I wasn't sure what to expect when I first, got the Flip Out. The cards, I think that's a neat idea that the cards have the same thing on the front and the back. But, I mean, it's your typical moving around. Like I said, it really reminds me of Racco to some degree, but it's very simple and very easy. And I think it's a really neat idea to have your opponents looking at your tray. And so every time I move cards, I watch the expressions of my opponent. Did they smile a little bit? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Am I going to go for 4 cards, or will I go for 6, which will get me more points in the end of the game? But if I wait to get 6 of them, then my opponent might ruin that by grabbing 4 of them on the other side. So watching what cards you move around and everything can really help you out, and watching people's expressions, I suppose. And all in all, it's a simple family game, but one that I like and one that I'm actually going to hang on to. What do you think?
When I first heard of Flip Out, I thought, wow, so this game is about people flipping out.
Oh, flipping out.
But when I first saw the cards, I'm like, okay, which side is which? Is it the front side or is that the back side? And when I played against my dad, I won again.
Does that happen a lot?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't I just beat you in a game today? Yeah, I think so. All right. Well, Flip Out, one that we can promote to families everywhere. Check it out.
Thanks for joining us today. For more written, audio, and video reviews, as well as the #1 board game podcast, check out the website at www.thedicetower.com. Until then, this is Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.